Yes, it is visible.
All right. So in continuation of vSphere Lifecycle Manager, today we are going to discuss on lesson 3, that is working with baseline. So one second. Huh? So baseline primarily created for your uh, kind of host patching, ESXi host patching, or ESXi host upgrade, or for my VM tools, different kind of updates and upgrades we can perform by the baseline. Okay, so that is something we have to create in our uh, vCenter server under vSphere Lifecycle Manager. So this module is primarily talking about recognize the feature of baseline, distinguish between the different baselines, managing host using baseline and images, and uh, change the patch download source. So when we say working with baseline, so it's two things. One is baseline. So baseline include one or more specific patch or maybe a new extension or the entire upgrade set. Okay. So when we say minor patch, it's a kind of sometime it's a just a kind of security advisory, a small security advisory being given to the VMware. So we have to download that in my vCenter server. Then just for applying that, we have to create a baseline. Same way for extensions as well. These are minor extensions or the entire upgrade. Upgrade, like for an example, we are going for 6.5 to 6.7 or maybe 6.7 to 7.0. Okay. So lifecycle manager includes following baseline by default. So these are three baselines being by default created: critical host patches, non-critical host patches, and host security patches. These are by default created baseline. But if we want to create baseline our own, we can create. We have a choice. So a baseline group is a group of multiple baseline where we can club multiple baselines together. And like for example, one baseline we have some critical patch, and another baseline we have non-critical patch available. So we can group them and we can apply to the respective host the entire baseline group that is going to apply the number of baselines in serial way. Okay. So creating or adding. So using new baseline wizard, you can create the new baseline to that's required to deploy for your environment. So again, create a fixed patch baseline which consists a set of patches that you have, like you have custom set of patches you want to apply. You can do that. Create a dynamic patch baseline which consists a set of patches that meet certain criteria. So it will include the additional patch near in future as well. Host extensions. So host extension, just a additional software, VIBs, maybe some set of software, maybe third party of software available. So we can convert them. I mean, we can create the extensions baseline for that. Filter patches or extensions. So it's normally when you are going to create a, let us suppose you have a set of 100 patches, but out of them you want only 10, 15 that is more over related to your environment. So there is a once you will download the patches in your vCenter inventory itself, then you can filter the available patches during the baseline creation. You can customize, you can select as per your need. All right. So how do we create the baseline? So it's a simple example. We'll go to vSphere Lifecycle Manager. This is my vSphere Lifecycle Manager. And from there, you will get a tab of baseline, then new baseline. Okay, that I tell you. These, you see some words here, predefined. So these are my predefined baselines. These are by default created baselines. Okay. So here is a small example here being shown vSen cluster SA compute. So this is something, a baseline group is being created manually. All right. So same way, we can create the new baseline as well. So when we are going to create the baseline, we have to define like a customized patch. And for which purpose we are creating the baseline, it is the upgrade, it is just a patch, or it is just an extension. And select the source, select the ESXi version from there, for which version you are planning. Like for an example, rightly I am just running vSphere 6.7. So let us choose the right version, vSphere 6.7, maybe this one or maybe this one. Okay. All right. So it is saying patch is automatically set a criteria adding patch automatically in this. When we say automatic, so whatever the duration we will select from here, like from this date to this date. All right. So automatically it will pick, and here if you select any, then it will pick all. But if you will select it specific, like for example, VMware embedded ESX 6.6 critical security patch only. So it's your choice, whatever, and you can define the timeline. So from this timeline to this timeline, whatever selection you have made, all the patches will be as a bundle in this baseline. Okay. So these are the list of patches. Whenever you will selection of these parameters, these are the entire list of patches. If you want to select all, click next. Or if you want to select specific one, just select the specific one only. Yeah, then click next, update, finish. So your baseline will be ready. So once your baseline will be ready, so it means that, like for example, you have created custom baseline one. Okay. That is you have created for 6.5 version, for example, and you are moving to update one. Okay. And you have select the respective patches. So what is the next step you have to do? You will go to host and clusters tab, select the update tab from your cluster. This is my cluster name. Select the update tab. Then whatever patches you have defined, it will show you the baseline. Here you will see the list of baselines. Let us suppose this is what I have created. So this will be listed out here. Select the baseline. Okay. And then click on check compliance. Okay. When you say check compliance, it will check whether your host, which of the hosts are compliant or non-compliant. So normally it will show you if this update is not available, it will show for all the hosts as non-compliance. It means that they are not compliance against the baseline, patch baseline what you have created. Okay. So then you have to follow the pre-check, like you will schedule, or you can do it immediately. Then pre-check remediation. So it will check whether your hosts are ready. Like for example, in my cluster, we have 4 hosts are ready for remediation. So pre-check remediation. If pre-check remediation is okay, then you will start the remediation action. So when you will start the remediation action, what it will do? It will do one by one host into maintenance mode, evacuate your host, then apply these patches. Okay. Then bring that back from maintenance mode, then maintenance mode, apply patches, maintenance mode, update like patches. The same way, it's a kind of rolling upgrade. Okay. But one thing we have to keep in mind, the affinity rule or anti-affinity rule will not be was not applied here, because if there is some affinity for that host, VM will not migrate. So in that condition, we have to concern with application owner. Do you okay to shut down that VM during the maintenance activity? If he'll say yes, that's fine. Or if he'll say remove the VM and host and hardly apply affinity rule, so that VM can migrate to another host that point of time. Okay. Because sometimes
So,
host will not come in
mhm.
maintenance mode back. Yes.
So first we have to stage it. After that, we have to remediate.
Yeah. So remediation pre-check. If remediation pre-check is fine, okay. But if we'll see the 3 host have issue may prevent the, because remediation have been done, but you see some warning here, okay. So go ahead and check the warnings. What is that? Try to remove that warning as soon. However, it can do the patching with your warning symbol itself. But yeah, try to do that Warning first, then do that. Okay. HA admission control will be by default disabled during the host patching activity. Okay. Because it will keep one host down and do here and there my VM migration. So during the patching cycle, my HA admission control policy will be disabled at that point of time. All right. Okay. So remediating host. So remediation, that what I told you, you can select a schedule or you can do immediately. If you will do immediately, your updates will start right away, or if you will schedule it, then it will start on the proper schedule. Okay, so it will do sequentially. It will never do parallel host because it will keep one host maintenance mode, rest keep on running to balance the cluster and VM workload. Okay, so the remediation of the host cluster temporarily disable vSphere HA admission control for the time being. Your upgrades is happening for the host, but it will bring back as a default setting whatever admission control policy you have defined. All right. So that's what we learned here: creating baseline groups, recognize how to create baseline, describe how to update the host using the baseline. We'll do definitely some labs. Don't worry about that. Then lesson number 4 is, yes, any question before I will take it to next lesson? Are we good?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. First, we have to stage. After that, we have to run remediate,
Remediation. Yeah.
pre-check.
Check,
Okay.
then remediate.
Okay, okay.
Shiva,
So
anyone? Yeah.
once we have started the upgrade,
Hmm.
like there are 10 ESXi host, okay,
It
in
will
the
do one
cluster.
by one.
And yeah, it will do one by one. And
Hmm.
five host has been completed. Okay. And
Yeah.
after host, I want to stop it. I want to stop the upgrade. Can I stop? It is possible.
Yeah, you can cancel that in between, but ideally don't people do.
Okay.
Then
This only for patching, or we can upgrade also,
upgrade.
sir?
I mean, for upgrade, almost same. There is no difference. Same way, you will take the next version. You will create the baseline, keep it that, remediate that. Process is same. No difference. Here you make a baseline for patch. When you will creating the baseline, select here upgrade. Then you will see only the target versions available in the list. Whatever you have, import. Like here, you are seeing the list of patches, but when you will select the upgrade baseline, you have to import the next version ISO. For example, right now you have 6.7. Then the next version ISO where you want to upgrade, just import that ISO in vCenter server from the here. Okay. And use this, it will not show you this kind of option there. Okay. Because that's not a patch. From this tab, it will take you, if I'll select upgrade, it will take you the listed of ISO images. Then you will select the next version ISO image. Then you don't need to, it will not show this window. And from here, you will select the baseline and follow the same process. Check compliance, pre-check remediation. Okay. So once it start the remediation again, it will bring one host maintenance mode and it will map the ISO automatically. It will restart your host couple of times and it will upgrade to the next version. And again, it will be your rolling upgrade. When I say rolling upgrade, one by one. Okay.
Suppose that we are using 6.7 and we want to upgrade it to 7. So we can do it from baseline by creating baseline.
Yes, yes. That's only the process what I'm telling. Na.
Update and
Here,
upgrade we can do, right?
अरे यार,
Yes, yes, here it is option. Okay.
patch and update is here. Okay. Upgrade is here. Select upgrade. Import the image. The next tab, you will not get this. Okay. Instead of this tab, you will get the available ISOs.
Okay, okay.
Your vCenter server. Select that ISO. Even you will not get this tab. Okay. Fetch the baseline. Like from here, you have create one upgrade baseline where one ISO is already there. So check compliance with respect to this upgrade baseline. Okay. pre-check remediation and do the remediation. So it will upgrade your host one by one. Okay, clear?
Sir, the affinity, can you explain on the affinity, anti-affinity?
What happens in affinity or anti-affinity rule is, like I have a host group here. Out of it cluster, I have picked two hosts and I have set two VMs in a group, group 1, group 2 with the host. If I would say they should run here or they must run here, they should not run here, they must not run here. There is 4 rules. Okay. So if any affection is there in hardly apply means must run. If I have set some rule, VMs must run here, they will not go away. Okay. And they will not go away, host will not come in maintenance mode. Okay. Either you have to shut down those VM, put the host in maintenance mode and do the rest activity. I'll talk in details. I think I missed something there. I'll talk details. Don't worry about that.
So there is one question, sir.
Okay.
We have to disable HA.
No, it will automatically disable. You don't worry about that. It will not
Okay.
disable HA. It will disable HA admission control policy setting. The time
Okay,
being
okay.
it is happening.
Okay. HA will be there, na? Without HA, it is not possible, na?
Yes, yes. So next is on working with images. When we say image, so there we'll cover describe the ESXi image, import ESXi image, enable vSphere lifecycle manager. Then again, using the images option, import the ESXi image and apply to the hosts. So what are the key elements of image when we talk? We can create some custom image. When we say custom image, so it will have the native ESXi. Native means is base version. Base version is the default version which is given by vSphere. But now you say, sir, I have some vendor add-ons, like I am using some Dell server. So I have some add-ons from Dell. I have some other components from Dell. And I have some hardware package. It may be your firmware, BIOS and all. Okay. So to club all these additional thing in your native image, when you will club all these stuff here, your new custom image will be created. Okay. Now you are saying, sir, for my host, I want to do the upgrade by using this custom ESXi image. I don't want to use by default ISO. So now you have this custom image. First question is, how I will create this custom image? This will be created from vCenter console itself. Okay. So vCenter console give you an option to use base image plus add on vendor component, additional component and hardware firmware, and create or export as a new custom image. Now you are saying, sir, I don't want to go with the default baseline option. I want to go the upgrade with the help of this custom image. So VLCM give you a choice, like you see here. This is my image depot. So under image depot within vCenter, I have the choice of creating the custom image with additional components. Okay. Then you see here, this is the tab, what I was telling you, import the updates. How it will import? Whatever the vendors update are available, what are the drivers, what are the component. I am able to club all these together and make a new custom image. Okay. Then what I need to do? I have to export it and post export it. Then I am able to put in image depot and I am able to update my host using the same concept under image depot. Then again, what I would say, scan, then update. But this custom image also used for, see, after ESXi host cluster are upgraded to vSphere 7, you can convert the lifecycle management baseline to images. You set up a single image. This custom image can be further used and applied to all the hosts in a cluster. This step ensures cluster host image are homogeneity. Homogeneity means all the clusters node have the single image, native image. So how it will? You see baseline here, go to updates. Then under updates, beside baseline, you have a tab of image. It is a cluster setting. Updates, here is a tab of image. Once you will click image, manage with a single image. It means that whatever cluster nodes I am having, use the same master image for all the nodes. So when you will click setup image, it will ask you the image path. The image which you have exported from here, you have create one image, you have exported, then you can import it back from your local system. So now you have one imported image in your vCenter server, so that you can either you can import it directly from here and you can set up within your cluster. So this feature is available again for 7.x onwards. ESXi host must be stateful. Stateful means those are using the local disk and manually installation should be from the same vendor. Same vendor means the provider should be same, make and model, these all configurations should be same, not the different vendor. Then I can only set the single image for all the nodes. So how do we define? Like this is pre-clustered creation task. Then when I will create the cluster, I can manage image setup updates on all hosts collectively, and I will give this image path here. This is my custom image. Do you have vendor add-ons? No. Where I do this setting? Probably you remember when we just turning on the vSphere cluster, I told you there is a tab manage image updates all hosts collectively. Means that this image has been aligned here. Can I change this image later? Yes, you can change this later. Like tomorrow you have the new version, so you can fetch it here, and during the upgrade cycle, you can use the next target image, whatever the new image available. So now the question is, sir, I have imported the new image, but how I wanna update my host with respect to that new image? Simple. Like as I said, against the baseline, you do the check compliance. You did check compliance in baseline. You remember that? Then you have find a non-compliance host. Same way, with the respective image, you can check compliance for your host. Like there is listed 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want to select it. If you will see, you will get a status of uncompliance. So you find it. We have only checked one host. Out of one host is out of compliance. Out of compliance means non-compliance. So what you will do? Run, recheck, and remediate your host. So in this way, by using a new custom image, you can update your ESXi hosts. So there is two way. One is through baseline and one is through from image. How you will create the image? Image will be created locally in vCenter server portal. Okay. You can export it back in your local system. Then you can import it back in your vCenter server. Using that master image, you can check the compliance for your ESXi hosts are available in that cluster. And you can run pre-check and remediate the host, either one by one or either all. All right. We clear? Yes, no? So simple, there is two methods. One is through baseline, second is through images. So baseline, you will just import the native ISO, whatever ISO you have available. So first you need to import the ISO from VLCM portal itself in baseline base upgrade, I'm telling. Okay. Then create a baseline. Under that baseline, it will ask you the ISO, give the ISO path, and whatever the nodes you have in your cluster, check the compliance. You will find, like, for example, you have 4 hosts, 4 out of 4 will be non-compliance by default. What next action you will take? You will run the uh, pre-remediation check, then you will perform the remediation. That is through baseline. How will do the image? So image is something like, under a image, we have native ISO plus vendor add-ons plus extensions plus your hardware and firmware drivers. So these all together make a new image, or you will say the custom image. Okay, it will make a custom image. So that custom image now can be created by your vCenter from the vCenter server. How you will create a custom image? This is the option. Okay, you use the native ISO, whatever ISO you have, and then imported ISO, and then take the additional packages, all the additional packages. Maybe you have download from Dell or HP, whatever you have, and by collecting all the details, add-ons, packages, hardware, firmware, make a master image, and then go to again vSphere Lifecycle Manager. Okay, there is a tab of image depot, go image. Then with respect to image, again check the compliance for your cluster nodes, and then perform run pre-check remediation and perform the remediation. Okay. But again, if you will say me, sir, if in case I am not able to find the all add-on drivers and whatever is compatible with the Dell server with the new version, can I get custom image directly from vendors? Answer is absolutely yes. You can get. You don't need to follow all these number of steps. You should first, before you are going any major upgrade, you just or maybe the from 6.5 to end, coordinate with your vendors. Ask to them, boss, I am using for your like Dell R740 servers. Do you have prepare a image, a custom image or custom ISO yourself? If they will say yes, we have, so ask them, take it, and ask them, does it image have kind of firmware upgrades and all? They will say yes. If they will say yes, you don't need to do this all blah blah task. Simply take that ISO, follow the traditional method, baseline. Under the baseline, map the ISO, and then follow the standard process, right? Compliance check first, check the compliance, then check pre-remediation and remediate that. That's also a way, correct? All right. Most of the cases, I would say, you will get the custom image by default from your vendors itself. But if in case you don't have, ask them for the drivers and all, they'll help you. So you will get from the from respective vendor side, club them together and make a custom image yourself. All right.
When we get that non-compliance, no, sir, what would be the reason for getting the non-compliance?
Non-compliance is because non-compliance, only the reason it is not matching. Like any baseline or something, if it is non-compliance, then only you do the remediation. Simple thing. Simple example. In case of I'm talking update. Okay. So you have created new baseline for new updates, correct? It means that under this new baseline, we have set of patches, correct? And when I am comparing, I am checking compliance to my host, definitely they would be non-compliance, because those patches are not available there. Correct? That's why those are non-compliance. Once I will apply that baseline, it means that it is patched now, it is patched now, it is patched now. But then they would become as compliance. All right. So checking compliance means is whatever in your baseline, whatever your image, does it match with the current ESXi host you are running in the environment? Definitely answer is no, because you have created something new that you want to apply there. So that's why you are checking compliance. Correct? Got it? See why that answers your question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So compliance check is mandatory to identify like which of my hosts are not up to the mark against the baseline. Whatever we have written in the baseline, if it is perfectly matching with the respective host, then it is compliance. But definitely we have created the new baseline just because of I have something new. I have some new updates. I have some new patches. I have some new upgrades. That's why I'm checking the host with respect to against the baseline. Definitely they will become they will be in that state until unless they will not upgrade it, they will not patches, they will be the non-compliance state. Okay. Once whatever the definition of my baseline and the host matching with the same setting, it means that those are compliance. Correct? Clear? So we can do that from both hardware compatibility. So the hardware compatibility check verify underlying hardware of ESXi host in the clusters against the vSphere hardware HCL and all. So these all are it is matching in the new version. Standalone VIBs. So standalone VIBs are these are some add-ons. These are simple small files. VIBs are a small file. You can import or ignore standalone VIBs. Import a component, contain VIB and add it into cluster image. So it's by default given in my image section. If there is a small VIB is available, we need to add extension, additional add-on drivers and all. That all we can be added. Okay. Ignore the warning. Let the update process remove VIB from the last host. What it is saying is no warning about this VB is present. If present, import the component. Sometimes you will get this sometimes small VIPs error. Like for example, I'll say we are upgrading an environment where NSXT is there. So definitely there would be a mismatch of VIPs file between updated host and the non-upgraded host. So that point of time we can ignore that one. Remediate a cluster against an image. Same example I'm telling you, go to image. Now you have the master image, select your host, check the compliance, run pre-check, remediate all. That's all process you have to follow. What is in the custom image? It have the image version, it have vendor add-ons, it have firmware driver, it have user-defined components. So again, it's the optional. Optional means whatever is available, you will include, and what is not available, you will ignore that. Simple. So these are the maximum list of available things in my ESXi image. You can remediate a single host against the image or the entire cluster as well.
Okay? Sir, when you click on remediate, it will remediate whichever it is non-compliant, it will make it as a
non-compliance only. Absolutely. Making that compliance. You are right.
Okay. So it will do in the background everything.
It is doing in background, but you can monitor this activity from your recent task of vCenter, or you can go that particular host. You will find some changes there. Local console, maybe it's rebooting or something is happening there. Okay. But always it will keep that host into maintenance mode, right? Got it? It's an automation. It will do this task automatically. Bring host maintenance mode, update the patch, updates, or sometime it will restart it, and bring that back from the maintenance mode. Then again, it will pick the new host and perform the same. It will pick the new host, perform the same. Okay. All right. So in that way, you will accept the terms and you will start the remediation. Okay. So it will keep on running and okay, this is for the recommended image. It will show you from in the cluster image section what is the appropriate image, or if you want to add some component, you can add that. Customize the cluster images. So it's again, if you have some image, you can again, if you want to add some add-ons or something like that. So that's possible altogether. Yeah, that's how the import update files to the image depot, create a cluster with vSphere manager enabled, add ESXi host and update ESXi host using the cluster image, whatever image you have defined into the cluster. Yeah, we'll perform this lab. Don't worry about that. Then next is my managing life cycle of virtual machine. So now you say, sir, I am good with the vCenter. I am good with the ESXi host. What is with my virtual machine? Okay. Do I need some updates there? So whatever the simple example, if I am saying now I am switched from 6.7 to 7.0 to my vCenter server. So vCenter server will not update from lifecycle. To remind you again, it will update locally or upgrade from the local console only. And all my hosts now, they are on the new version. That is my 7.0 or maybe on new update. You can say in any way. So I'm taking one example. I have switched to 6.7 to 7.0 now. So far, we have the VMs which were running earlier on 6.7 version. Okay. So for all these VMs, my virtual machine tools version, my virtual machine hardware version, it is still as per the 6.7 standards. First of all, will there be any problem to run this virtual machine? Answer is no. There would not be any problem. They will keep on running because with the new version, it support the legacy version up to n-4, n-5 level support. It means that it support the VM which were running 6.7, 6.5, 6.0 kind of that. There would not be any problem. Okay. But for all the VMs, if you want to take the advantages of new tools, new hardware version, enhanced advanced version, enhanced capability, enhanced drivers. So best practices always say upgrade the tools as per the new platform, upgrade the VM hardware version as well as per the new platform. All right. So upgrading the tools or hardware, again, there is two ways. Either I will go manually on each virtual machine and upgrade the tools and hardware. That is one method. Second method, I have VLCM baselines for that. So I'll create the baseline, like for example, VM tools 7.0 I have created, and I can remediate the group of number of VMs per basis of selection I have done, and I can perform the same task, pre-check compliance, pre-check remediation and all. Okay. But yeah, definitely there would be a power cycle. This all instance will happen under the change window. When I say change window, you have to take the downtime. Okay. All right. So updating the tools and updating the hardware version, again, we have to create a baseline, and against the baseline, we have to pre-check, check compliance, pre-check remediation. So what remediation will do? Again, it depends upon what kind of baseline you have created. It is created for only tools upgrade, or we have created two baseline. One is for tools upgrade and second is for your virtual machine hardware. So you can make a baseline group as well. Then can, as I tell, you can apply on the listed of VMs together. It's not only for one. You can select multiple VMs also together, and you can start the remediation. So when you will start the remediation, it will push the tools and it will upgrade the virtual machine hardware. Do you understand virtual machine hardware version? There is 17, 18 and all. And according to hardware version, its virtual component capability will get increase. Like earlier it was support, probably just an example. 1 TB RAM, maybe next version it can support up to 2 TB of RAM. So if we want to perform both the tasks in a single shot, so just create two baseline. One is for VM tools and one is for the hardware upgrade, and make a baseline group and apply that to the listed of VMs. Okay, so that will do it immediate in backend. In this case, will there any impact on ESXi host? Answer is no, because this baseline is only for virtual machine. In this case, will it restart your virtual machine? Answer is yes. So disable any monitoring for those virtual machine and open the change window and perform this activity. All right. Okay. And just again, yeah, enable the monitoring and all stuff for whatever is on your virtual machine levels. We clear on it? Yes, no? Any doubt? This activity, again, I am saying it can be do individually for each virtual machine. That is also possible. Or it can be do from the lifecycle management by creating the baselines for VM tools and virtual upgrading the VM tools and upgrading hardware version. But if you will say me, sir, can we upgrade the Windows operating system? Answer is no. Okay. So vSphere Lifecycle Manager can upgrade your ESXi version from 6.7 to next version, but this vSphere Lifecycle Manager cannot upgrade your Windows operating system or Linux. It will not do anything. What is inside the VM? All right. It will not touch your guest operating system ever. Okay. It can upgrade the virtual machine hardware version. Okay. Probably you say, sir, earlier my virtual machine hardware version was 12. Or maybe you go with this. It now hardware version is 13, and my VM tools version was 6.7 base. Now my VMware tools are 7.0 base. All right. So maybe you will get, when you will upgrade your hardware version, maybe you will get more compatibility from more CPU options, more memory option, more storage option, depend upon which version to which version you are coming. Clear? Yes, no? Shiva, Praveen, Suresh.
Oh, sir.
Are we good? All right. So definitely we'll be performing some labs around it. Don't worry about that. Okay. So I'll showcase you within a setup where we will create some vSphere cluster with legacy version, and I'll try to upgrade that into the next version, that is your 7.0. So again, I'm repeating, whenever you do the upgrade of any vSphere environment, first of all, your vCenter server should be upgraded. Then your ESXi should be upgraded, including the hardware and software. When I say hardware, any firmware, hardware related and software. And if there is any dependent storage in between, coordinate your storage provider, always consult with VMware. Do we need to change anything on storage? And before performing ESXi, perform the patch and upgrades for your storage. Maybe it's Dell, HP, or whatever the storage providers are there. If it in case it is vSAN, then you don't need to worry about that, because vSAN is something your ESXi inbuilt feature. Then your virtual machine, tools and hardware. How we can upgrade it? A vCenter server will be upgraded locally. Why? How? Simple is there's two things. It is a patch or it is upgrade. Patch or update or upgrade, always difference. Patch or update is a simple update. You will do from the local console of vCenter. How the local console? It is the VAMI console, local console. Okay. Or through SSH session, In Vami console, you can download, you can update, or you can update local bundle putty, insert them and perform it from command line. When I say upgrade, upgrade is a major upgrade, like you are going from 6.7 to 7.0 or 6.5 to 7.0, kind of that. That point of time, you have to deploy a new vCenter server and select the upgrade option, and it will ask you source vCenter server detail, give that detail. It will put a new vCenter server and export all the settings from old vCenter server to new vCenter server. Correct? Are we good so far? So next component is your ESXi. How we can upgrade ESXi? Definitely you can do individually. How individually? Offline download package, perform putty session and push. That's also possible. But normally people use as standard practice through VLCM. How we can do through VLCM? Through baseline or through images. There is two way. All right. The next component is your virtual machine. How you can do the virtual machine? Tools and hardwares. Okay, either individually go to VM setting, insert the guest tool or upgrade the hardware, or through VLCM again, create the baseline for your tools and patch and perform the remediation. Check compliance, perform the remediation action. So that's how we can overall update and upgrade the vSphere environment. Okay. So if we are planning some major upgrade, so most of the time people get confused at the point time. If someone is asking if I want to go from 6.7 to 7.0, like as I said, first always and always, first you will upgrade your vCenter server. Then from this vCenter server, use the VLCM, okay, and to upgrade your ESXi host, use this new vCenter server, not the older one, because on older one is 6.7, and if you will try to upgrade your ESXi host to 7.0, that is never allowed. Okay, only you will do this upgrade activity from the new vCenter server. All right, then you can upgrade. So any ESXi with the lower version can be supported with the higher version of vCenter server, but any higher version of ESXi cannot be supported with the lower version of vCenter server. Okay, vCenter server should be always equal or more than your ESXi host. It should not be done down. If you say, sir, with vCenter 6.7, I can manage ESXi 7.0. No, never. If you say vCenter server is 7, I am using ESXi host 7.0, 6.7, 6.5. Can I manage that? Answer is yes. Get my point? Clear? Shiva, Suraj, Suresh, Parveen, are we clear what I'm trying to telling you?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's it for the day in today's basket I have. But yeah, definitely we'll be covering some labs in next week itself.
So update manager and life cycle manager means update manager has
update
like changed.
manager is almost finished now. It is VLCM now.
Okay, the name has been changed. It is like life cycle manager, right?
Correct. Earlier
Okay.
it was vSphere update manager, but 7 onwards it is vSphere lifecycle manager.
Okay, understood.
All right.